Hey, peace. Let me just get this fucking camera straight for me. Yeah, peace, family.
Peace, peace, peace.
Yeah, this is the 9th episode in the Verbal Vortex Show. This is the last of the season 1, and I wanted to end it with someone who I think is suitable just to end it off nicely. First of all, would you like to introduce yourself to the people?
Morfius, producer, engineer.
Okay, now, so for those that don't know, this is a person who's behind a lot of people's music in the sense of either producing or giving it that clean, crystal smooth sound. And I'm one of those individuals who's been blessed by this guy's fine ears. But there's many names that you all know out there. So for me, it's a privilege to have Morfius on my platform.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah, man, every time. All right, so first question. Can you share with us how you first got started in the music industry?
In the music industry or just with music?
However you want to proceed, bro.
I guess I've always dabbled as a kid with like making music, or mum and dad be playing tunes on a Sunday and I'd have my keyboard upstairs trying to learn the songs, playing along, that kind of thing. So it's something I've always had. That was my little hobby, my little thing to do, to mess about. But yeah, I didn't. Life kicked in, you know, adulthood. You're working, living, and then I got to a point. I think probably when I was about 25, and I just had enough. I'd been working since like 15, 16 years old, full time. So I said, I want to do something different, do something for myself. And so yeah, decided, all right, I'm gonna chase the music dream. And yeah, just kind of just taught myself to figure out how to build a computer first. Figured that out, done that. Somebody gave me a CD with a couple bits of software on it. I was just staring at the screen for months trying to figure this thing out. But yeah, eventually did 1-2 little classes, I think, along the way. And then yeah, just I'd always been into my own thing. I'm not really a group participator. I never really was.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, eventually, at some point down the line, I'd set up a studio in the back room of my flat. And yeah, just be working with people, just learning, getting better and better at what I do. And I did that for about 5 years. And obviously, eventually, you're like, I need to pay some bills.
Mm.
And then, yeah, I moved house again. And I was on the hunt for somewhere with a cool space that I could set up the studio again. And I moved to Leighton, and then, yeah, set up shop in there. Said, all right, try and run it as a business. £10 an hour, come in and do your thing. And yeah, I was really shocked by how much impact that really had on people. Because I think at that time, there was obviously people who could record and do their thing, but nobody was getting, you know, a half decent sound. When I was hearing other people's stuff, they were playing me, and, you know, other artists and stuff, I can't hear what he's saying. Beat's cool, but I can't hear what he's saying. So it put me off. So I bypassed a lot of music that was coming out of the ends because it just sounded like poop. So yeah, that's what drove me to say, all right, make that your thing. Because before that, I do a little bit of recording, but I wanted to be the Timbaland or you know, Dr. J. I wanted to make the beats. But eventually, we needed someone to record, and it ended up being me.
Definitely, man.
So yeah, I just took that on board and never looked back, really.
Which artists or bands or singers or whatever have you worked with that have left a lasting impression on you?
Oh. The lasting impression on me. it's going to be anybody in those early years in Leighton. Anyone from that time is who I really learnt and developed my sound with. I said I was doing stuff before that, but you're just learning still. But actually saying, all right, this is where I'm going, and I've bought a decent mic now, and I've got preamps and equipment that nobody else ain't got. It was those people, including yourself from that time, Big Cakes, Doc 4, I suppose was the first. Me and Doc done a lot of hours, like just recording, making music. Just like the rest of the world is getting on with doing what they're doing. We're just in the computer, just making music. So yeah, Doc 4, Big Cakes, Rago Zulu Rebel. Who else was there at them times? TB.
I was just about to say, shout out to TB, T-Bear, because if it wasn't for T-Bear, I would have never came across you.
Oh, wow.
I remember it, like yesterday, I was walking, I think it was up Catworth Street, to be funny enough, yeah?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
And then T-Bear just said, yo, and when I looked across the road, I said, yo, T, and he goes, what are you doing? And so I said, nothing. He goes, listen, guy in studio, man, I want you to come about this thing, I want you to come and record a tune. And I said, yeah, I'm down. And then he took me to meet you, and then we recorded it, and I was like, when I heard what was going on, like sonically, I was like, yo, I need to jump on this, because I'm recording at home, and then like the beats are cool, but the vocally it sounds shit. You get me?
And this is what the problem everyone was having. So, you know, I didn't have to do too much those early years, apart from do a good job. Yeah. We didn't have Twitter and YouTube and Instagram and all this other stuff. It was the word of mouth. So if you want to get known and get more work, just do a good job. And that's what I did. Like TB, like I heard about TB from River Mist. He used to live at the end of my road. And I met River Mist when I did a little course at West Ham College, just to figure out. I didn't have a clue about MIDI. I was baffed, and I realised this course, they do a course here, and part of the syllabus for one term, the first term, was MIDI. I thought, oh, I'm going to do the first term, learn my stuff and get out. And I think I met River Mist there. I think he was either in the college or someone else was in the college, and then introduced me to him, one of the two. And that's when I heard like a lot of stuff he was playing me from TB. I was like, oh wow, and this guy's on radio. I think, was it One Extra? Probably was One Extra them times. I was like, wow, these guys are actually doing it. They're actually active. Like, I'm only just starting out. These times they're already active. And same with like Big Cakes. Like, it was all packaged, barcodes, artwork, graphic design, all proper nice. So yeah, those were the guys that really, I suppose, influenced me, inspired me to try and really go for it. Really, yeah.
How do you approach the creative process when you're working with different genres of music?
How do I approach the process? Well, for one, I've got to feel it and connect with it. That's half the job done. The process from there, like if I'm doing something that I'm not used to doing, somebody's asking me to make something that I'm not used to making, just go and listen to it. Just make a playlist. Well, you can now, it's a lot easier now. Just make a playlist of tunes like that and let that sink into my skin. But I would do the same like back in the day as well. I would still, wherever we played music from, I don't know if it was, we didn't have like Spotify and stuff, so it'd have to be like one of them Napster things or something. Just go and find tunes that I know that fit that sit in that genre. Or even sometimes the guys on the high street with the little mixtapes, he's just got the vibe. All over a mixtape, buy a couple of them, whatever it might be, and just study it. Just study it. I'd usually do that for about a week, and then sit down and start to build from there. That's my main process. But I suppose that was early days. Nowadays, like, a lot of time I just tend to just go in and just do it. Like, okay, you want this kind of vibe, yeah, okay. I might go YouTube, quickly scout. There's a million playlists of that genre, whatever genre I want. Let that play while I'm setting up my session. By the time I'm ready to start, yeah, I know where I'm going with it.
You're in the mode.
Yeah, just to kickstart it, because it's different. Each genre has its, like I say, it's got its own little thing about it. Like maybe the way the drums hit, or the type of drums they're using, or the type of instruments, type of melodies that they're playing. These are the things that you got to look out for, and then emulate that back in your own way.
What do you believe sets apart a great music producer from a good one?
Great from a good one. The great producer. I mean, nowadays anybody can be a good producer. If we're talking these times now, like anybody can be a good producer. Like you go on something like Splice, a million samples, every kind of genre you want, all pre-made. Slap that melody on those drums, get that loop, put it in there, that bass, put that in there, lay it out, bang, you got a tune. So anyone could be a good producer, but a great producer not only is, I mean, a great producer will probably could use those same loops as well as a good producer would, but the way he's gonna infuse it with his own thing, I know, like from my perspective, I'm gonna take that loop and do stuff and play stuff around it to the point where you could take that loop out that I originally put in, and it doesn't affect the song. The song can still run. A great producer's he's got vision. He's gonna have vision for the song, not just the beat. Like, he's gonna kind of have the idea of where the song's gonna go, what kind of mood is the song gonna be, what are we talking about, what are we writing about here, that kind of stuff. Yeah, he's got the vision. It's the vision, I think, that's gonna separate a great producer from a good producer. He's gonna have vision.
I hear that, bro. So saying that, how can you walk us through a typical day in the studio for you?
Typical day. Is there a typical day? Yeah. There's, I mean, yeah, generally it would be on a general day. There are exceptions, but on a general day, yeah, I'd come in about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, set up. I'd always come in early. Like, my first session would never be really, generally, before 12 o'clock. So I'm there between 10 and 11. Might be doing books or warming up the equipment. Preamps need warming up. There's nothing I hate more than forgetting to turn the stuff on. Mic just doesn't sound right. So yeah, I've got the equipment warmed up, making sure I'm ready for my first session. I hate being late. I feel like you're rushing for the rest of the day, so I'm always at least an hour. I'm there beforehand, an hour early at least. And just setting up and getting ready. I'd probably have a session at 12, like a little 2 hour, 5 hour. I'd always do 2 hours, 5 hours, or 8 hours. Don't really like the little 1 hour stuff in between. Unless it's like people come to do jingles or quick dubs or something, I might. Right, but generally 2 hours. Yes, everyone boasts, like, yeah, I can bang out a song in an hour. Yeah, you can, but you know, how good is it going to sound? So I always say, like, you know, I always found over the years, like an hour and a half is about the average for a good song. To allow time to do stuff. So I said, all right, 2 hours. That gives me time to do a little rough mix for you, because most of you ain't coming back to mix it. So yeah, I do my little 2 hour sessions or 5, what it might be. Yeah, that's me. Just sessions for the day. If I ain't got sessions, then I'm building. Oh, I used to anyway. I'm just building these days. I don't build unless I feel I've heard something. I'm watching YouTube and I've heard something and it's inspired me to make something. Or I've got a brief somebody's given me to make something. So yeah, if I'm not doing sessions, then I'm building. Mixing. I try not to do mixing and production or recording. I can do production on the same day, but mixing and recording I don't like doing on the same day. It's like two different hats.
Okay.
It's like two different hats. When I'm recording, if I am mixing it, while I'm recording, I'm thinking about the mixing already. I can think about it, but I don't really like... If it's the same tune, it's cool, I can do it. But, you know, if I'm recording with you, and we've just done a 2-hour session, and then I've got a tune from somebody else over there to mix, I can't do it the same day. It just don't come out right. I don't know why. I need fresh ears to start a mix clean, because then whatever I've been doing for the day is influencing my ears, or has affected my ears to what I'm hearing. So yeah, generally do separate days for mixing, separate days for recording. And I said, or production. Or some days we're just in the studio, just vibes in, reasoning, and then depending on who's in the studio at the time, the reasonings and the conversations might end up leading to an idea. Then a beat starts, and then this one's writing and that one's writing, and okay, we've got a song. Them little special moments. It's just always changed over the years, because obviously back in the early days we had more time, we didn't have no responsibilities, there was no business, we were just working. So back in the basement days we had like what do we do, like freestyle Fridays. So it was just bare beats lined up, and bare different people would come down and spit their bars, and just try and record the whole thing. The setup was mad, but it was good for people to connect, like a little hub thing. And I've always liked that element of, you know, little community, a little hub. I'd never want to say like label or anything like that. It's not really me. I've got a business acumen, but my business head ain't as strong as my creative head. So I've never, but I understood, okay, that having something in that format, like a label or a unit, a clique, or whatever you want to call it, a network of people that work together and bounce ideas off each other and stuff like that, was always a good thing to have. So those days it was that. As the years went on, like when I moved to Hackney Wick, it's more business now. By this point now I've registered my business, I'm self-employed, pay my taxes and whatnot. So now I'm just thinking about bookings. That's my main focus. All I cared about those times was bookings. I was still doing the works and productions and whatnot, but yeah, I just needed to focus on building my business. I just had my first daughter, so yeah, I was just on business mode. So it wasn't really time for nothing else. Just come in, do the sessions, go home. Might have the odd day where it might be vibesy, or the session that I've got is very relaxed, and you know, it doesn't feel like work. So you feel a part of it. But yeah, generally it's just bang out the work, and it's been that way since being a dad. The focus has been book the sessions. Nowadays, well, I haven't got the responsibility of the studio no more. Kids are growing up. I've got more time, more freedom on my hands. So nowadays, a typical day nowadays is just doing me. I might get the odd recording session if I want to do it. But generally, it's wake up, have my breakfast, go for a little cycle up around the park, come back, start my mix. Depending on what it is, just a vocal mix or a full-on mix. I could be there 4 to 8 hours, bang that out, dinner, like chill with the kids for a bit, and come back and chill. Mixing is where the bulk of my work is at now. Not really doing as much recording as I was before. And again, it's changed because of lockdown. So it's either change with it or give it up.
This is it.
Yeah. So yeah, the day does change, but generally, yeah, them times, like in my main time, it was just come in about 10, 11, bang out the sessions, and I don't even know what time I go home. I tried to do the you know, family thing and try and finish by a certain time, get home for dinner and bath the kids and put them to bed and all that. But that was hard, bro. That was, I think, probably the hardest thing I've found in my life is give me like 2-week sessions on little or no money and beans and toast, I'll do that. It's no problem. Like, find that balance between home life and work life. Oh, mate, what a struggle.
Yes, mad, isn't it?
Yeah, and especially being self-employed as well. You know, it's hard. When you've got a routine 9 to 5, you know you finish at that time. You've got your weekends off with the family. It doesn't necessarily work like that when it's the other way around. So it's the sacrifice again. It's like, well, ultimately, in my brain, nature wins, isn't it? So the family's going to have to come first. So that means, not in a bad way, but that means you're not there. So certain sessions, big sessions where, okay, that's going to put your name over there, or that little job, that recording session you done, or that mix that you could do there, that could put you in a certain position. But I've got to be home for the kids, so it's not going to happen today, guys. And then he goes to someone else. It's just part and parcel of what it was. I guess that's why I put off the family thing like that for so many years. My first daughter, I had it, 35 when my first daughter was born. So, you know, because I know what happens. I see everyone around me. Once family kicks in, you ain't got no time for music, mate. Unless music is paying you big money, which it's not.
Considerable peas.
It's not. So then, you know, life kicks in, and then music's a second place. So I kind of avoided it for a long time. But once it was there, you got to face it and deal with it. So yeah, I had to adapt and change. Like I said, I tried to find the balance, but yeah, it was hard. Which causes a whole next set of problems with the family. But yeah, balanced it as best as I could over the years. But yeah, it was a challenge, man, because you need to be there, like, especially being self-employed. If you don't work, you don't get paid. And my thing was recording, you know. So, you know, it's probably like one of the hardest, I think, jobs in the music industry. I mean, it pays, but it's hard. Nobody wants to do it, especially them times. Nobody wanted to be the engineer because nobody didn't really fully understand it. It's not like pulling up a kick drum or a loop now. Like, it already sounds good, so you don't really have to do nothing. Vocals are like one of the hardest things to mix because they're so raw, and we're not. Everything sounds, you know, polished and pre-mixed now already. We're not used to hearing raw sounds, so. For a lot of people, when they plug the mic in the ear, and they think, "Oh, why does it sound like that? Why does it sound like Drake?" Well, it's mixing and recording. Like it's a mad process, and nobody really wanted to do it.
See, that leads into my next question, because I was going to say, how do you handle challenges and obstacles that arise during the production process?
How do you tackle it? Depends what the problem is.
Well, let's go into, like, you're talking about, like, vocals. Imagine you come into a session, like, look at, like, this is for instance, someone like me. I find that when I'm recording, the bottom end of my voice is very prevalent, if you want to call it that. Yeah. And you know, some people, again, they might not be too privy on how to mix down vocals properly. So let's say, like, you had someone like me who's, but the bottom end, like the bass part of my voice is very prevalent. How would you get the best out of working with someone who comes with that nature to the session?
All right, somebody who's got a lot of bottom end, a lot of bass in their voice. It depends if they're. Oh, you can't see me. It depends if what the top end of their voice is like. Like, the top end in your voice is quite clear, and you're well pronounced, so that's a great help. So your first instinct would be to just cut the bass out, but at the same time, where you deliver a lot of the time is you are using your lower register. So if I cut that out, you're just going to sound all thin now. So it's just about getting it under control. And that's a mixture of, there's a little bit of EQing and compression and stuff like that, but you just got to use your ears and know, like, what does he sound like in real life? That's what I think a lot of the time from early, without realising it, we would start a session. I think Zulu was probably the first I noticed at first, where I noticed it coming from, that your session starts, say, at 12 o'clock, but because we were so relaxed in times, it wasn't regimented. We're doing a session, but it's not running like a business. So we come in, sit down, something to eat, have a smoke, whatnot, and we're chatting, reasoning. But all the time you're talking and reasoning with that person, my brain as an engineer is logging what his voice sounds like. So now when he gets on the mic, Obviously, the mic sounds different to real life, but my brain is aware of what his real voice sounds like. And that's the sound I prefer. Obviously, you polish stuff a little bit more because it's going on to a track, but my perspective, like my initial perspective is like, I want to feel as close to his real voice as possible without sacrificing too much. Because it's on a microphone and you're limited to 2 speakers, you're going to have to sacrifice something.
Yeah.
But I don't want to sacrifice the good stuff. I don't sacrificing the elements that we don't need. Like I said, the bass in your voice. Like, you don't need 30 hertz in your voice. Or I don't even know if there is 30 hertz in your voice. But sometimes, depending on the song as well, you might not need 50, 80 hertz. So you can slide some of that out. You have to take it all out. But take some of it out. Or somebody who's got large breaths. Like Zulu's a very passionate spitter, but his breaths are quite big. So sometimes like that, I mean, for example, sometimes if he's really going for it, like one of his breaths could be as loud as some of his syllables, which in real life we don't hear it like that. But because it's on the mic, it's closed in, we're hearing it as loud as one of his syllables. So again, like you could say, right, you could take it out, but I wouldn't take it out. I would just take it, separate it, and turn it down.
Okay,
so it feels more natural.
Yeah, I hear that.
And again, depending on the song, will determine in my brain like how loud I want to hear the breath. Sometimes I'd leave them in because the song just needed that. It gave it more intensity. So taking it out would take the life out of it. So sometimes, yeah, it's just about finding a balance on it. But again, it's always my brain just trying to create what my brain is hearing as his real voice. But obviously within the context of the song. But yeah, I'm just trying to get the voice to be as close to what that person sounds like. I don't want them sounding like a telephone unless that's the intention.
Yeah.
But I hear a lot of that. I think it just sounds like it's on a telephone. But it's just because they've taken all the bass out of the voice.
Right.
Because they think that same thing, I can hear too much low end. And they're taking out too much. Now it just sounds all thin and boxy. It doesn't feel real. Now I feel disconnected from the song.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? So,
what advice would you give aspiring music producers and studio engineers?
put the hours in. Just put the hours in. That's what you got to do first. You can only learn so much from sitting in a class or sitting behind your computer screen watching a YouTube video. You just got to go in and get your hands dirty. Like I said with me, I didn't plan it that way, but having a pot of people that just want to make music and record gave me everything I needed. It killed me because I was doing it for free. You know, so I had to find other work to do. I think at the time I was a graphic designer before. After I did all the 9-to-5 stuff, I was just freelancing like graphic design stuff because that's what I used to do. But that enabled me to say, well, I can work from home doing my graphics work and then I can just let these people come round and work. They're getting to express their creativity and I'm getting audio to work with. Right. So once they're gone, I can practice my mixing, or while I'm with them, it gives me an opportunity to practice my recording or production. They come to me with briefs. Oh, can you make me a beat like this? Or I've got an idea for a song. Can we do this? Can we do that? Whether it turned out good or not is irrelevant, especially them times. But it was about just putting the hours in. So by the time I came to like the Zulus and the Cakes and the Cyclonious, it's like I felt confident in what I was doing. I listen back now and I think, okay, right, I've still evolved from there, but for what it was at the time, it was amazing. I don't know anyone else who was around us, at least. My scope's not very wide, but from what I was hearing, I didn't know anywhere else that you could go and get a sound like that for £10 an hour. No, yeah. I didn't know anywhere.
For real.
So it's like, that was what kept me going. So, well, right now I don't have to go and do a 9-to-5 again. I've got my graphics work that I was still doing. I remember them times there when I was in the basement, I'd do the recording, I'd do the production, I'd do the mixing, I'd do the artwork. We'd go outside the wall and take shots on the little cheap digital camera. Yeah. Come back in, load it up, do the thing, print the artwork off there, We had a big CD tower, 1 to 11 copier. It was banging out all the stuff there. I had a reggae artist that used to come to me, and he would bang out his stuff quick. If all my customers were like him, I'd never have no business. My guy's looking out for like 14 tunes in 1 hour.
14?
Yeah, and then he's got all these blank CDs there ready to go. I want a copy now in just a little cheap plastic sleeve with a sticker with all the track list on it. Bam, slapped it on there, and he's out on road. He's gone. Pound, 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 and then he's back the next day to do more. Yeah, we used to do it all them times. I could never do all that now. Never do all that now. My brain couldn't handle it.
Elevation, bro.
Yeah.
You know, everything has its place, and you know.
I'm glad I'd done the years back then, because as well as that, like, I felt I was on the back foot. Because remember, like I said, I started like pursuing it like at the age of 26. So by the time I'm actually ready to say, oh, I can record people or take on briefs from people and make beats for people that they're going to go and use and sell and whatnot. By that time, I'm practically 30. Everyone else around me is like 19, 20s, early 20s. You start young, innit? But I left it really late. So I always felt I've got a lot of catching up to do. I'm behind. I need to be ahead. And I think that's what drove me to just eat, sleep, shit, music. Literally. Like, that flat I was in, I shared that flat with my girl. And in the end, we split up, or she ended it, because we live in the same flat, but we don't see each other. Why? Because you're in the basement in that studio place of yours, and like all I'm asking is for 6 hours of your time, and that killed me. I thought, rah, yeah, like you ain't got time for nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, this is you. And
you was in the dojo, mate.
Yeah. I didn't care about nothing else. All I cared about was music. Things like Oysters came out. Remember, Oysters, before that, it was you pay your money on the bus.
Yeah.
Oysters come out. And when we split up and whatnot, I've gone, I'm living outside a bit more, going outside a bit more, gone to get on the bus with my money. He said, no, mate, you can't pay. No, fight with him. That's how out of touch I'd been with the outside world, because I'd been so, all I knew or understood at that point now was just the music. So yeah, that just showed me, okay, right, this is what you're doing now. You're not going to be doing anything else right now. Pursue this. And just kept pushing. Anything that split gave me, the breakup there gave me an option to either just go and get another flat and go and do a 9 to 5 again, or because I couldn't have both. I couldn't have a studio and a flat. I couldn't afford it on my own. As a couple, yeah, you can do it, but I couldn't have done it on my own at that time because I'd just been doing studio work. So I said, all right, I found a studio. I don't know, it might have been Zulu, or I can't remember. It was either me or Zulu found a studio in Hackney Wick, and it was like, I think at the time it was like £4 a month. I think it was. I said, right, if I do that, then I can't really put anything into a flat. I said, oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I could have looked around for another small flat with a little basement, but yeah, I couldn't. It was too much. It was too much on my own at that time. Like I said, like I'd been working, but it wasn't enough to say call it something, a business that you can live off on your own. Yeah. It wasn't at that point yet. So yeah, I took the studio at Hackney Wick, which meant, oh, you ain't got no yard now. You got a studio, yeah, sick, but you ain't got no yard. So I got my sofa bed, lined that up, boom, sorted, and that was me. Yeah, it was really doing studio life. That's dedication.
I was about to say that. Do you know, it's when you're bringing that up, I'm just remembering, like, you know, the Hackney Wick era.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would, in my mind, like, that's when it just went up a notch.
Yeah.
And to say, all right, we're gonna dig our heels in this one.
Yeah, definitely. Again, because I've got no woman to worry about. I'm actually, like, literally living in the studio. That's basically it. It's like, what's his name's flat was across the park. Go there, breakfast, shower, whatever, come back, do another day, and that's all. I didn't have no kids or girl or anything, so it was music 7 days a week, literally. For like, I don't even know how many years we've done that for.
It was a long time.
Yeah,
man.
it was a long time. But again, it just cemented me in place. I knew if I'm doing the hours, like, not if I can afford to do the hours that I was doing, or didn't necessarily have a space to do that.
This is it.
Or not many people were willing to be in the studio recording heads for like, 12, 14 hours a day. It drive a lot of people mad. But again, I just knew, okay, it's giving me experience, it's giving me my sound. It's putting my name out.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
How do you stay up to date with the latest trends and technologies in music production?
Well, it's a pain in the ass itself. You can, when you're running on the treadmill,
Yeah.
but it's slowly getting faster and faster. At some point, if you don't stop, you're gonna buckle. It's like that, or like with like back in the days when like you could download the music, like the album Napster and them things.
Yeah.
You're just downloading. You don't even know why you're downloading stuff that you wouldn't even buy.
Yeah.
But you're downloading because it's there and you can download it. So you're trying to get it all and stay up to date. It was the same with like the software and the plugins. Like you're trying to make sure you've got up to date with all the newest plugins and all the newest technology. One day, when I was rebooting my computer, I realised I've got half the stuff in there I don't even use. I don't use it. I put it on there because I saw a video or somebody else was using it. It looked like it was doing a madness, but it's not part of my workflow. And I may have tried it and realised it's not part of it and just not uninstalled it and just left it there. But the staying up to date thing, like I said, I've got my core stuff. I know what I use. I'm set in my ways. My programs are old. Like super old. Like I haven't got no new programs on my computer. I don't use new programs. I might have one or two plugins that might be new, but my programs I use for like production and recording, everyone always walks in and says, "Oh, what program is that, man? I've never seen that before." I always get that, but it's not about the program, it's about me.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, like, at the end of the day, it's what you're doing with it.
Yeah, but yeah, I do still stay up to date. Thank God we've got YouTube now. That helps us to, you do subscriptions, you find the little sites that keep you up to date, let them do the work, and I'll just come check you and your page every now and again and see what's cracking.
Yeah.
And see if there's something I like, I think, okay, I can implement that into my workflow. But a lot of the stuff I don't need, or it doesn't apply to me because it's not the way I make music.
Because I'm like, my daughter's very, very musical, and I'm thinking that I'm just trying to kind of put together a studio for her sake, not really for my sake.
Yeah, but for her to express her thing.
Exactly, and it's like the last time I was tapped into like making studios was like Reason 4 and shit like that. So when I'm looking into it now, I'm like, what the hell? Like,
it's a whole nother level, bro.
Yeah. So
I realised, like, when I used to do the graphic design stuff, it was like Illustrator and Photoshop, and I was always up to date. Newest version, up to date. I got the new features now. I'm up to date. I know I've learnt them. Right, we're ready for the next update. Once I stopped doing that and music took over, at some point I had to, I think it was when I got a new computer, I had to update the Photoshop that was still on there from the old basement studio. And when I've seen the new version, it just looks different, the menus are different. I don't know what any of the functions do. I felt lost, bro. And that hurt, because remember, like, I've come from a graphic design background, so Photoshop used to be my main thing. For anything I need to do, I can do it in Photoshop. And I felt like a novice, like opening up that program, the new version. So yeah, I just put my hands up and say, you know what, yeah, cool, I'm out. Because I keep running, that's when I would trip over. Yeah. Trying to keep up with them now.
Because these guys, they always update annually, innit?
If sometimes it's more than that as well. Sometimes there's little updates in between. And like I said, they don't matter so much at the time. But if you haven't used that program or updated it for like I said, like a year or two, a couple of years, by the time you look to the new one, it looks so different, man. It looks so different. Same, like, I'm a Cubase user.
Right.
And like, I always look at the new Cubases that they've got. I think, wow, it does this now and it does that. Look, I need that, but okay, cool. It's nice that it does that. And I keep thinking, should I update? But until I feel like, okay, there's stuff I want to do and I can't do it no more because of the program, not because of me, but because of the program. Then I'll have to update, because they've done this whole switch from 32-bit to 64-bit a little while back. I don't know how many years ago. I just ignored it. I just cracked on doing what I'm doing. But it's getting to a point now where all certain things or certain plugins that I need, but this program's 32-bit, but the plugin's 64-bit. All right, it's starting to back me into a corner a little bit. So yeah, any month soon, or maybe by the end of the year, I may switch over. But No, I'll keep up to date just because, like I said, there's little things like how now you can take a song and split it into any song. Somebody could pull your song and then separate your drums, your bass, your vocals, and go remix your tune.
Yeah, that's mad.
It's crazy.
That's mad.
It's great benefits because then you can sample now in ways that you couldn't before. You know, we didn't have the instrumental to certain tunes before.
Right.
So we have to filter out certain bits to block out the vocal. Well, now you can just put it through the program and take the drums.
They're doing that sort of shit in like raves, bruv.
Yeah.
Like when I'm clocking where they just mixing something and then they'll just drop the beat out and you hear just the lyric and then they'll drop a next beat and people are going nuts and I'm like, right.
It's crazy because of the amount of possibilities that you do have.
Yeah.
So that's been amazing. That's been a great thing to have, to really like aid the production and take it to another level. There's stuff there that you can do now that you couldn't do before.
Yeah.
But I mean, even like down to like having the loop websites and stuff. They kind of do in a way make you dumber. Because you're relying on it, if you're relying on it. If you don't rely on it and you just use it in a creative way, then yeah, it's great. There's been some great little advancements. Like, I know for me, like having having the ability to organise my samples now. Like, my sample collection is crazy, it always has been. I was addicted to just downloading new sounds, buying new sounds, or just recording new sounds and just collecting. So at the moment, I think it's about 4 terabytes worth of sound.
4 terabytes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So you think like trying to look for something, like a specific sound that you're remembering, is going to be mental.
Yeah.
You can't remember the name of it or what folder it's in, but finding a really cool sample organizer, it's just brilliant. Because now I can type in like bass or whatever, and it'll bring me all the basses on my computer.
Right.
Or I can say, right, I'm working on a beat that's like 100 BPM, and it's in F minor. So I can say to my sample organizer, I can tell it, right, play me all my piano samples, but make them all F minor and make them all 100 BPM.
Wow.
It finds it's just organised, so I've got access to things that I forgot that I had.
Right.
And then instead of having to work out, all right, what would this sound like if I put it in the right key, and then I've got to figure out how to make it the right tempo. By the time you've done all that, you've lost the creative juices, they're gone. But I've got a really cool sample organizer, it does it all for me. So I can just focus on the creativity. That's been a massive leap for me. And that's nothing to do with instruments or playing music. It's just being organised and allowing more time for creativity rather than hunting stuff down, going like click, 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 and you're just hearing a million snares, but you're not going nowhere. Where are you going?
It's time consuming.
Yeah, it drives me mad.
When just hearing you, because like production was my thing at one point. Like I've made some like nice beats before, you know what I mean, and I like production. But hearing you saying all that, I'm just like, fuck, is that really a zone that I want to get back in? Like,
you don't, mate. You don't. Like,
you know what I mean? Because just like you're saying, I'm gonna want to be organised. And to be organised, sometimes money has to get involved and time and effort
to really stay on top of it. And it's like a burden almost. Like imagine like I've lost a few hard drives over the years, but once I figured out, okay, right, that's not going to happen to me again. Since 2015, I've got everything there. But then that becomes like your responsibility. When somebody, it really still baffs me, like when somebody phones me up and says, oh yeah, Morph, remember that tune I'd done like 10 years ago, like, yeah, can you send me the stems. For that? Like, mate, you're lucky if you didn't, if nobody asks, is like, are you going to keep that? Or what? It's not my responsibility as such to keep it. You come to studio and you pay me to record you, and so you're thinking to say, well, you should be saying, right, can I get the stems one time, or but people don't. So I took it upon me to say, all right, you know what, I don't want to delete it. Of course I don't. I want to keep it, and it's just become like a ball and chain.
But you know what it is? That's just because of the kind of person that you are. Because I've even done it. I remember I've come back to you. Yeah, Morph, you still got that tune in. You know what I mean? But now it's something where I believe. If you're coming, if in your mind, if you're going to a studio session and you're looking to say maybe record for the hour, leave the hour gap, another hour gap for you to lightly mix it as best as you can, you should actually try to put at least another hour.
Or allow some of that time to get files and stems.
Files,
Yeah.
or and think ahead. Like say, you know what, I need a performance edition of that.
Right.
You should, you know what I mean, because to come back time later. Imagine if you turn around and said, right, you know what, I needed to get rid of that shit because I needed to do X, Y, Z because I need space on my computer. What can anybody say to you?
Right. Like people just assume it's my responsibility.
Yeah.
And I suppose, you know, in the bigger scheme of things, yes, if I'm, you know, Capitol Records or whatever, and this is us using all these big clients, then it's part and parcel of the service almost. But again, it's still not their responsibility to archive and hold on to it for a million years. That should be on the individual to say, well, it's on you to come back and say, right, can you assign some time to bounce out the stems for my vocals? So in case you need to mix it again or remix it or put it out again or do another different performance mix, you've got all the files there.
I think it would be a good idea to just someone to just have the idea to leave with them.
Yeah, as you've done it there, because it doesn't take, especially like if you're in the session and you're there and then, depending on how your sessions are set, it shouldn't be. My sessions are set up in a way that it makes it very easy for me to just bounce stems out and automate it, and it'll get it done. So it's not a long process, but it's making the time to do it, and not assuming that the engineer or the producer's just going to do it on their time. They're going to make time for you to do it. It's your product. You should be taking care of it.
How do you stay updated? No, not updated. What do you think is the key to a successful collaboration between a producer and an artist?
What's the key, did you say?
Yeah, like, what do you think is the key to a successful collaboration?
I mean, I can't speak necessarily from an artist's perspective, but I know from my perspective, you've got to firstly like what the artist is bringing and really have a passion for their flavour, their style, their content, first and foremost. And I guess it goes both ways. As an artist, you've got to like that producer's style or his way of working, what he brings to the table. Because I know I'm not an artist, so I know, right, okay, I've got to make sure I've got to be able to bang this beat out right, or I've got to make this guy's vocal sound sick because he's bringing his bit. We decided to collaborate, he's doing his bit, so make sure I do my bit. So when come time to put the tune out, and this is more thinking of today, as time's gone on, I've really thought about it, but yeah, I would just do it automatically, autopilot before, and not really think about so much the business. Just nice everyone and just leave my belly hungry. So I'd always nice everyone, but now it's like I still take that effort of like, make sure you bring in your part to the thing, because if we are collaborating, I'm coming for my half, so make sure you got my half ready, because I've done my bit. Yeah, you done your bit, that's your half. But yeah, if we're collaborating, then I'm not going to forget about the business again. I've done that for too many years, and it's probably a little bit of a downfall. Like I said, there was blessings behind it because I gained a lot of experience and learnt so much and mastered my craft, but at a price.
Yes.
So yeah, the collaboration thing, like JJ's a perfect example of someone that I've collaborated with for years now, to the point where, like, we've just finished the second album. I don't really do albums with people. I think the biggest project I've done was with Mike, the Latin project, where we had like 21 different artists. It's about as big as it was. But JJ, I've done one album in lockdown, and now just practically finished a second one. And I think for that, with that relationship there, it's built over years. JJ came to me, and like anyone else, you want to record, you've heard what I do, you want to come in and record your thing, cool. And once I heard him, it was like, wow, this guy can sing. And you've been around all these years, I don't know any singer that can work with what the man them are doing, or is connected. There've been singers, but they're doing their own little old school thing, or I just do the R&B, or I do the house thing over here. But JJ was so flexible and versatile that he could just merge into what we was doing there already. Anything he touched, it just turned to gold. So that stood out for me. Like, we ain't got nothing like this. All we've got is bare rappers. There's a million rappers. We've got enough rappers, but everyone's got their own character. It's cool, which is nice still. There's variety there still, but he's a singer. who sings stuff that works with what we're all doing. So I think subconsciously I made an effort to push him into everyone's music as much as possible.
Yeah.
And he was at a point where he's like, Morph, I want to learn. But it's like, you're a big man. You can sing. Like, you're older than me. You can sing, bro. Like, what do you mean you want to learn? No, but I just want to be part of the thing and what's going on.
Yeah.
So anyone needs a hook or a feature or something, I just want to be part and learn and just soak it all up. Mm-hmm. So he had that same drive and passion that I had. And I guess maybe because we were similar ages as well. And then the reggae thing is a reggae artist, isn't it? And that's what I've grown up on. A lot of the early stuff before I started recording with the man them, he was old school reggae artist that I was working with. Again, another key thing in helping me, that gave me speed. Because them man don't pet. They are not messing about. Go, go, go. You better be ready. As soon as he's finished, stop recording, you're ready to go again. You best be ready. So that gave me speed. But then meeting JJ again gave me like reminiscent vibes of those times or childhood. Them kind of flavours he's bringing with his tunes. So it's like, oh yeah, man, you're not going to get that every day in a session. It don't come along every day. So I lapped it up as well. And then I don't know when, but at some point we started making songs together. I don't know when or how, but it's like with most people that I've made songs or collaborated with, it doesn't just happen. It happens over time, organically.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Because even when I'm thinking about like, if I'm in the studio with you, and you say to me, nah, Sax, nah, that ain't it, go again. I don't even question it. Yeah. I'm sorry, alright, let's go.
JJ says the same thing.
Like, I don't question anything because I value and trust. I've been working with you that for so long. If you said, nah, or you know what, that was dope, do that again, we're going to keep that. I don't even question it no more. If I'm working with someone else, then I might be like, nah, actually I like that, and I'll sprinkle a bit more of my salt or my sugar. I said this
to someone the other day, like he said to me, like, I've had a wicked idea. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna record my stuff at home in my living room, and then send it to you, and then you can just do your thing with it. I said, yeah, you can do that, but it won't sound the same as like everything else you've been doing. But yeah, you can do that. I get it. That's what people have been doing since lockdown. So I get it. Yeah, cool. But his thing was that he was in his brain said he can still end up with the same result, and you can't. Even if you had the same equipment,
it still won't work.
It still won't work because it's not just the equipment, it's me. That's what you're not getting. It's my decisions. Like, no, that take's not right, or you mispronounced that word there, or you didn't stab that properly, or you need 2 stabs on there. You might have only done 1 at home and sent me 1. What am I going to do with 1 stab? I need 1 for the left and the right, but you've only done 1. So all them little pointers is what you're paying for.
Yeah, they all matter.
It's like school. Like, everyone always says that, oh, when I go to Morfius, it's like school. Not in a bad way, but in a sense that, like, I'm learning stuff. Every time I come here, I learn something new. And that's the way I want it.
Yeah, they've got to pay for your experience and your time, bro.
So that's what... If somebody's paying me, I need to be giving you more than just the button pusher. Because anyone, like I said, we're in 2024. Even them times, anyone could go to the shop, buy a microphone, a sound card, and press record. Anyone can do that. But, like I said, it's not what you're paying for when you come to me. It's the experience and the guidance to really pull the song together.
That's exactly it, bruv. Can you share a memorable or funny studio experience that you've had with an artist?
Yes, I can. I can now because it's done now. It's long gone. And the studio I've gone from anyway. I had a known UK artist that I work with. He shouted me, he said, Morph, I'm going to need some time tonight. It was really proper last minute. Have you got time tonight? Yeah, what's up? I've got a big artist coming down from America. He's landing tonight and I need to get in with him and do that. Okay, right, it's a good opportunity for me. Let's get in there. But he wouldn't tell me who it was. Okay, cool. No problem, no biggie. Got there for the session, maybe half an hour has passed. Still no sign of anyone. And eventually he's like on the phone to me, you can hear he's arrived or whatnot. Right, gone to let him in. I still don't know who it is. And I can't open the door. It's Keith Murray.
Keith.
It's Keith Murray. I was like, yo, dad, what? And he was just like, you know, he's a loud character. He's a big character. Yo, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, it's not me. You're here for my man over here. Okay, yeah, cool. And he's done the whole act again. Cool. So they're vibes in. But my brain's saying to me, like, Keith Murray is hip hop. That's hip hop.
Right.
All right, he's a bit crazy. We know Keith Murray's a bit crazy, but cool, that's hip hop. The guy that is collaborating with him, he's not hip hop, but he can do hip hop. But he's not known for hip hop. So I thought, where's this gonna go? And then Keith's like, yeah, man, the guy was playing him some beats, and Keith didn't pet. You could see he was drunk already. He was drunk. He was off his face. But he kept going, like, put some beats on. Playing some beats. Yeah, man, just load up any one of them. And he just went in the booth and started spraying. Blah, 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 blah. He started doing his thing, rapping his heart out. It's okay. But it's not a song. Like, no, that's not a song. You're just going in there and rapping your heart out. And then he's come out and he's gone to my man, now you get in the booth. Now you get in and do it. But this brother had no intention of, I think after seeing that, he had no intention of going. Because like I said, this is not his field.
Yeah.
But for whatever you thought, maybe something can happen. Maybe he's going to leave you with something that you can chop up later.
Yeah, because it's Keith.
Yeah, but Keith's putting it on him. But Keith's drunk.
Right.
Like, he's putting it on him, like slapping him. Yo, my dog, you get in the booth, get in there. He's like, no, it's cool. I'm going to do my thing later. No. Keith's gone back in the booth. But Keith's proper drunk. He said, right, I'm going to go back in again. But he says, every time he's going in and out of booth to talk, we can hear you through the mic. You don't need to keep coming in and out. But every time he's coming in, he's slamming the door. But if he's gone there the last time, and he slammed it, and the handles jammed or something. Now he's locked in the booth. He's mashed up the handle. Now the handle's like he's locked in the booth, and I can't get to open it from because where the handle's locked from the inside. There wasn't pulling it's not helping. I don't know what was wrong. Something was happening, and it just wasn't opening. And it's like he was having a panic attack or something. But he busted the handle. I've still got the handle somewhere. I kept it as like a little memento to remind me.
to remember the thing, yeah.
Bruv, he was doing it. He's come out, and then he's swaying all over the place. You remember the little table where he used to have in the butter soap? He's tripped over that, knocked that all over, glasses, bottles going everywhere. And he's still telling my man, get in the booth. I've just looked at him and I said, no, bro, we're done.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And I've just started turning stuff off because he's not getting it. And it's like, what do you mean, what we doing, man? Like, no, I've got more bars. Bro, we're done. What do you mean we're done? I said, we're done, bro. I said, thank you for coming. We're done. Yeah, but that was a wild night. And it was late as well. And you could just see, my brain said to me, you could see he walked in drunk. I thought, no, this ain't going to go down too well. I said I was already questioning it because the mixing genres, it's like, okay, I don't know how this is going to work, but all right.
I know this a while ago, but did he drop bars though, like to say like, raw, that could be salvaged, to get me, or was it just all over the place? Just
felt like freestyling. It didn't feel like, like you could take a verse and make that into a verse, or take that bit and make it into a hook. He was just wild and say, because I don't want to say who it was, but it's the way he got the guy's name wrong as well. It was just so, I can laugh now in my head, but I wish I could say it, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna put anyone in a.
No, that's cool. And I was even gonna say to you, you don't have to mention names and shit because, I know it's all sensitive.
But it's not what I expected. It's like, oh man, a session with Keith Murray. Wow, let's go.
It's a shame because he's going through certain things right now. It's quite similar, substances and all that stuff.
I think he's always had. But when you're young, and I was listening to them big Keith Murray tunes, them ages. Last thing I was thinking is like, is this guy alright? I wasn't thinking that.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody really just assumed that's his character, but I'm assuming that he's always been like that. That's what makes Keith Murray. You know what I mean? I know a lot of characters in this country, and like, it's them erratic, mad behaviours that make them who they are. And it's sad. Because at some point you're gonna have to stop the mad behaviours, but then you're gonna lose part of who you are.
I hear you, man. I hope he sorts that out because I can't lie. He's one of my faves. You get what I'm trying to say for lyricism.
Like, I've never been. I'm like I said, I'm an engineer. I've never been. Before I started recording, I didn't really care too much about lyrics.
Right.
My ears more focused. I would say, as a human being, your ears are more focused on the music or focused on the lyrics. It's one or the other. You're gonna be more drawn towards, and. Like, once I got into the recording and stuff and started paying more attention to people's tones and voices, like, you go back and you think about all the music that you grew up listening to and stuff, and he is one of those, bruv. Like, his voice is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The power in his voice, the character is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But like I said, it comes at a price. It don't come like for free.
Yeah.
It came at a price. But yeah, let's hope he's alright and in a good space.
Yeah.
Not breaking no more studio doors.
How important do you think sound engineering is in the music production process?
In the production process?
Yeah.
It's a lifesaver. I think there's two types of producers. Like, there's me, like the producer with the engineers. And so with that kind of path, you tend to be mixing as you go along.
Okay.
Or, like, for me, like, sound selection is part of the mixing process. From my perspective, because I'm an engineer stroke producer. So, like, when I'm starting a beat, or I've got my little melodies, or I'm picking an instrument, a piano or something, or I'm building a drum pattern, like, when I'm picking the sounds, I'm picking them based on with my engineering ears, not with my producer ears. The production side is like how the beat patterns out is the production side. But I'm not just gonna be like the other side of production. The other type of person is he'll build a beat, don't care what sounds he's using.
Right.
He just needs to build a beat, and then I'll change the sounds after.
Right.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I
can't do that because the way the sound sounds is affecting the pattern.
Yeah.
So the pattern might be cool, but if it's playing it with shit sounds that you've just picked just for the sake of it to do later, how are you going to be inspired to drop the bass line now or the chords on top of that? Because the drums sound shit.
Yeah.
So now whatever you put on that is going to be shit.
Yeah.
So if you're starting with your drums and you're picking the right sounds to start with, and they sound sick, that's half your job done. Especially coming to mixing now as well. I'll mix it later. I'll make it sound good later. You can't. No, I shouldn't say you can't. There's going to be a small percentage. There's one guy out there. He can take any sound that you give him. He's going to make it sound sick.
Yeah.
But why should I have to go for all that? If I'm mixing it, I don't want to have to mix a song like that, where you've picked crap songs, crap sounds, and now I have to make that sound like the wicked sound that you could have picked in the first place.
Have you come across anybody who produces like that though?
Yeah.
That's mad.
Many. And for a lot of them, I've just gone back with them. I said, let's not try to do this one. We'll do this one. I'll mix this one for you, but it's not going to be as good as it can. But maybe like he's brought another one down the line to me that I thought, oh no, the idea is actually really sick, or the sample that he's got in is sick, but the drums are weak. And just have to sit there and explain to him, look, do this, or give him a folder of sounds so they have that. Use them.
Yeah, get busy.
Just do what you're doing, but do it with them. And then he sees the difference. That okay, right, it sounds bigger and better because your sounds are bigger and better. You know what I mean? So it's if you can get it right at the source, get it right at the source. Same with recording.
Yeah.
With the mic, don't just record and say, oh yeah, we'll fix it later. No, get it sounding as best as you can before you've even hit record. Then you're in a good space.
It leads me on to my next question, kind of like, it's like, how do you keep the artists you work with motivated and inspired throughout the recording process?
Boy. Sometimes how do they keep me inspired or motivated?
I guess that's true, hand in hand, bro.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's, in one word, just being as positive as you can with the session and encouraging them, especially if they are struggling. Because you know, like, you're locked in a room separate, and especially if there's other people in them, they brought other people with them, you feel separate from everyone, and you can see, and they've maybe done a couple of takes and messed up, or they can see through the window that a couple of their mates are laughing and joking. They think they're laughing at them, that they're messing up the takes. So you've got to be conscious, right? You lot shut up and, no, you're good. Like, that's all right. Don't worry about it. Let's just go again. Yeah. I'm not going to say, oh, man, you messed that up, man. Like, let's go again. No, just say, don't worry about that. Let's go again. We know you messed up. We don't need to talk about it. Yeah. Let's just go again. So it's keeping the negativity out and keeping as much positivity in until the take's done or until the song's done. Then if the things I need to highlight to them that they could learn from, or improve on for next time, I'll do that after. There's no point me telling you that in the middle of a take. Because now you're conscious of it, you're thinking, oh, I think some shit. Oh, shit. No, save that for after. So yeah, just supporting them. That is my job. To support them. If I'm feeling like, okay, right, you're struggling a bit, or you're feeling a bit uncomfortable, so then I might say, right, you need a couple pointers. It looks like they need a couple pointers. But most people, like I said, that most people that are a recorder don't necessarily need that. Not to say I'm not going to give it still, but they know the deal.
Yeah.
They're experienced enough. You're experienced enough to say, oh, you don't need me to hold your hand and say, come on, Sykes, man, like you've got this, man. You know what I mean? Maybe a little kid who's like 15 and he's just starting out, I'm going to have to give him more words of encouragement. But not to say I wouldn't give it to you if you were struggling with it, but it's going to be more pointers. Well, like you were saying before, oh, maybe try this. Let's try it like that. You know, little things that if you're doing something that's at your comfort zone. Like when we was doing like the singing stuff, and stuff. So you need little pointers to say, well, no, don't push so hard. Just do it softer. I'll just turn the mic up a bit more, and we'll get the balance right. It's them little things, the little pointers there.
I guess it's for them not to take it so personally, because that's what it is for me. Just go in there with an open mind. Like again, like if you was to say, no, Sykes, do it again. Some guys might take that as a slight, like, oh, do it again. No, just done it. No, I'll just go again.
We should be past all that.
Yeah,
like, I always used to say to people, like, if I say something to you that you might feel like, oh man, you don't. I'm not saying it. My job is, my concern is the song. I'm here for the song. I've got the songs back. Yeah, I might have your bass, your song, so I kind of got your back as well. But you've come in to do the song. You said this is the song you want, so our priority is the song.
Yeah.
Not your personal ego, not my personal ego or preferences. It's about the song. And especially if you've got a demo there already that you've shown me, and I've listened to that a bit, I kind of hear where you're going. That's my focus. So anytime you're veering off where we meant to be heading, I'm going to stop you and pull you back in. And you should know why. If we've been working together long, you should know why. All right, okay, yeah. Like you said, you don't question. Just go again. Don't think about it. Just go again.
That's right.
I'm not always right. Okay, cool. Man might say to me, "No, you know what, Morfius? I like the idea, but no, I'm just going to do it my way." Cool. All right. As long as you know what you're doing, let's go. Let's go. It's not personal. It's not personal to me. And I don't expect people to take it personal. If I'm putting it out, it's just work. Like, especially like once you're in the zone, I might be like Morph's like really piling it on. You know how many singers have come out the booth crying because they're feeling the pressure, but it's not personal. When you've come out, I'm going to give you the biggest hug or whatever and praise you because you went through. It's not easy. It's not easy.
No, but you know what they can do in it.
Yeah.
And you know what.
And so I won't be pushing you.
Yeah.
If I didn't think you had it in you, I'm going to say let's find another way to get around it rather than beating out your voice for 20 minutes trying to get one line. But if I know you've got it in you and it's going to sound sick, I'm going to push for it.
That's what I was going to ask you. Have you ever faced a situation where you had to think outside of the box to solve a problem in the studio?
Outside the box to solve a problem in the studio? Not much. I suppose like when it comes to like recording, I had one guy, and I've used the technique so many times since, where never say he's got like a real calm tune, but they're so nervous or excited or whichever way it is, I don't know, that it's not coming out the right way. From what they've told me about the tune, how they want it to come across, you're not relaxing enough. You need to relax.
Can you share a project that you are particularly proud of and why it stands out for you?
The project I did with Mike Kaji, it's a Latin project. I loved working with Mike. I still love working with Mike, but before we done the project, like I'd worked with Mike for years, just like most of the other guys. Mike was probably one of the later additions to the family. He probably more came around. Right. Maybe Hackney Wick times. I think maybe, or maybe even Toasters. I think maybe Hackney Wick times.
I think it was Hackney Wick times.
Yeah, Hackney Wick times. Yeah.
Because he was part of was it the People's Army?
I see him in the People's Army, so he wasn't part of it, but he was in the People's Army session doing chats with Rebel and stuff. Yeah, so I know he's been around from them times.
Yeah.
But again, at some point, we done the first album I done for him. His first album was Sudaka. That was a special project. Because I think that was probably, again, that might have been the first project I've actually done it all, like on a solo person. We've done group stuff over the years, but like as an individual, Mike Sudaka was the first album I think I fully done, produced and recorded, mixed.
Top to bottom.
Yeah, top to bottom, done myself. So that was that one, and then the second one we did the La Raza project, where we brought in like him plus 20 other artists that we've just thought were really sick over time. That was probably even more special just because of the amount of people involved, and just being so different to everything else that we've done, catering to so many different artists and putting them all together. That took about, because of the lockdown thing, we had to take a lot of time out, but from start to finish it was about 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, but like I said, that's included, if you took lockdown out of it, then yeah, it might have been like maybe 2.5 years. But yeah, we persisted. Lockdown threw us off, but we persisted through it and got it done. And just deserved more light and attention, really, more than like I said, I can probably give it. Like I said, I'd always do my bit where I can. I know I can excel with the recording, the mixing, the production. When it comes to things like putting on shows or doing promo and doing videos and all of that, it's not my field. So again, it's a lesson that I've learned as the years have gone by. Like, if I'm going to collaborate with someone, I need to collaborate with people who can take care of those sides, so then we can have a complete package.
Yeah.
Right now, my brain says to me, as a 48-year-old, it says to me, well, if I can provide you and give you all the benefit of my experience with all this side, then you've got to have the other side. It can't be just the bars. You've got to have more, like connections, or you're going to go and do a mad promo, or you've got video plans or capabilities to do that. You know what I mean? You're going to go in on your end. Then that's worth me collaborating with, because then they become like the vessel for the sound.
That's right.
But if I'm putting my oil in your engine and then you ain't got no wheels, it's pointless, and I'm wasting oil. So that's how I take it. But yeah, La Raza was probably the proudest project I've done to date. Like I said, just because of its diversity and being out of my normal field. It's not an everyday thing I'd get. Latin artist.
You're right.
It's only through Mike that work comes through. So I thought it was a great opportunity to dive in with him and really get involved with that. But yeah, it was really down to him really finding the artist and making sure that we're saying the right stuff, because I don't speak Spanish. So all I've got can go by is the flow, the energy, the vibe, the tones that they were using. So it was vital to have him there for that as well. So yeah, that was an amazing project. It's only I think it was only nine songs.
Oh wow!
But it's 21 artists.
Yeah, that's a lot going on.
Yes, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So go and check that out.
Definitely. Lastly, what advice would you give to musicians and artists looking to work with a music producer like yourself? That's someone who's seasoned in this field.
What advice could I give if you're wanting to work with someone like myself? Just know what you're bringing to the table. And I always say it's not always about money. Just know that, right, if you want to go and work and collaborate with someone, just know what you're bringing to the table. So it doesn't have to be money, but you know, if it's the bars you're bringing, or you've got contacts, or you know, you could make great videos as well, or just whatever it might be, know that you better bring something to the table. Because the relationship's going to be unbalanced otherwise at some point down the line. Because I see people that I think are great, and I'll work with them, and maybe we might do one song, and then after the one song we might not work again, because then it looks like, or it feels like I'm carrying you, or I'm giving you everything but you're not doing nothing with it. I do all the recording, all the mixing for you. You come in late, I'll do all that work for you, give you artwork, give you good recordings, good mixes, production, and you slap it on Spotify and just leave it there.
Yeah.
And I don't see no promo, even an Instagram post or tweet or something. And then you're going to come back to me next month and say, yeah, let's do another one. I've got this wicked idea, yeah? No, we're not doing that. Yeah, whereas like I said before, in the early days when you're learning and you're growing, you wouldn't hesitate. Yep, cool, let's go. No matter what I'm feeling, but let's go because I need to learn. I don't need to learn anymore. So yeah, if you're gonna bring something to, especially someone's experienced and seasoned, you got to understand that maybe they're not going to be able to offer you something that maybe another producer who's starting out can offer you. If you've got no budget and no links or nothing you feel you haven't got really nothing to offer or to bargain with, then it's not about trying to work with the top producer. It's about trying to work with a good producer.
That's right.
Who maybe is just starting out as you. So if you say you've been here for a couple of years working, trying to find your thing, it's not really working, then find a producer who's been here for a few years and he's got the same passion as you and he's trying to do his thing. Now you both help each other. Now you can both grow together. That can work. But when you're at different stages in your career, it becomes hard because it's just natural. It's not a bad thing, but one's going to end up feeling like they're leaning on the other one.
That's right.
If they're not both pulling their weight. But like I said, I've had some experience of people who maybe don't have nothing necessarily to offer, but they've just got exceptional talent. The music's just amazing. With that, I'm not going to go and do a whole project with you, but we can do 2 or 3 songs because then it's also good for my show reel to say, right, I'm always going to be looking for quality music or quality songs. I'm not going to put something on my show just because somebody paid me for it. I'm not going to put it on my show if it doesn't resonate with me. So if I feel something resonates with me but they haven't got the money, I'm going to be flexible and say, well, maybe, okay, you know what, we'll do a couple tunes. I'm just going to take a bigger cut on the royalty or something, or on the streams or something. You know, if you're not bringing nothing to the table, I just think you're exceptional, I might say, right, I'm gonna like take 70% and give you 30%. If it starts doing well, then I'll reduce it and then we'll go 50-50, something like that. Whereas before, I just always say, like, especially now we're in the streaming world, I always say 50-50, 50-50. Doesn't matter if you're better than me, bigger than me, smaller than me, doesn't matter, like, we're working together in it. But no, sometimes you've got to look at the bigger picture, how much you're actually putting in, how much is the artist putting in. And like I said, that thing of like, I'm not on the outside, I'm on the inside. So I need an artist that's on the outside.
Right.
To carry the stuff around and move around and function. I'm always advising and putting my bit where I need to, but I need you to be functioning on the outside. As we can't work. So yeah, I would say just, it's better to find someone, like I worked well when I was with people who were starting out as well. Like if I'd worked when I was starting out, if I started working with a big producer or a bigger artist, I might not be here today because I feel like I would have probably flopped and it would have put me off.
Okay.
You know, it's too much too soon. So it's better that I think you start out with people on your level of experience and achievements. If you get an opportunity to work with someone who's bigger, then that's great because that's only gonna, you know, it's one less stepping stone for you. But don't rely on it. Do consider, like, the best combinations I see, especially now when I'm seeing younger ones coming up that come to me, is producer and artist are coming together to the studio, saying more, they're giving me the breakdown of the song, and the producer and the artist talking about it together like it's one. So they've been working together and they have amazing songs. Yeah. And I can see the results with this particular guy I'm thinking of. Like before he had a regular producer, he was just doing anything and everything. It was YouTube beats, but it wasn't really catering to him. As soon as he got a producer that he connected with, he was really starting to make stuff that is him. His style is very unique, so the normal stuff out there is not going to fit him. So he had to find a regular producer. Again, it could have been me, but I could have said, yeah, I'll take that on and charge you this and charge you that, but I know it's not me. His sound is not my sound. Yeah. And I know you need someone who's going to give you the time, who can afford to give you the time to tailor it. Yeah. I'm going to be clock watcher thinking, you know, I made like 4 beats for this guy. It's been 6 months, we ain't made nothing, and I've got bills to pay. That's what I mean. Like, when you're at different stages of your career, it's important that you find someone who's at that same stage as you, because it's imbalanced otherwise. It's not to say it can't work, but more time it becomes imbalanced because you're at different stages, you've got different responsibilities. That's right. You know? Yeah.
Dopeness, brother. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, my brother.
And I appreciate you, brother.
Pleasure, my bro. It doesn't happen all the time, but for my bro's sake, so I said, why not, man?
Yeah, man.
Why not?
Enough love, man.
I'm a bit of a hermit. I'm not a sociable person like that. I mean, I am sociable, but like, I don't do all the interviews and all the chattings and whatnot. It's not impossible. I have done the odd one or two over the time, but you know, I'm just a real life person. I'm not really in the camera and all the online stuff too much. You know, I know it's needed and we have to have the socials and whatnot to function, but yeah, I'm just a real life person. Anyone knows me so knows that we'll sit down and talk for hours, but you won't really find too many interviews out there or anything like that with me. No podcasts or nothing like that. But yeah, man, it's a pleasure, man. It's nice. It's nice.